Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a dog parent like me, you've probably heard tons of advice, tips, and facts about how to care for your furry best friend. From the dog park to online forums, everyone seems to be an expert. But here's the thing. A lot of what we think we know about dogs is actually based on old myths and misconceptions. And some of these myths can be pretty harmful. So today, we're going to set the record straight. We've talked to veterinarians to find out the top 5 dog myths they wish we would all stop believing. Getting this right can make a huge difference in our dog's health and happiness. Ready to bust some myths? Let's get started. First up, let's tackle a big one. Myth number 1, a wet, cold nose means a dog is healthy. We've all done it, right? We give our dog a little boop on the nose, and if it's cold and wet, we think, phew, everything's fine. But vets say this is one of the most persistent and misleading myths out there. The truth is, the temperature and moisture of a dog's nose can change for a lot of reasons throughout the day. For example, a dog's nose is often wet because they lick it to enhance their sense of smell. And it can be dry right after they wake up from a nap or after some vigorous exercise. Dehydration can also cause a dry nose, but so can just lying in the sun or near a heat vent. So a dry or warm nose isn't an automatic red flag, and a wet, cold nose isn't a guaranteed bill of health. Instead of focusing on the nose, vets recommend you pay attention to more reliable signs of your dog's well-being. Look at their energy levels, their appetite, their water intake, and their bathroom habits. Are they playing like they usually do? Are they eating and drinking normally? Any changes in these behaviors are much better indicators that it might be time for a vet visit. So let's stop being nose-obsessed and start looking at the bigger picture of our dog's health. Okay, let's move on to myth number 2. Dogs age 7 years for every 1 human year. This is probably the most famous piece of dog math in the world. Guess what? It's completely wrong. This simple 7-to-1 ratio is a huge oversimplification of how dogs actually age. Think about it. A 1-year-old dog is often fully grown and can even have puppies, which is way more mature than a 7-year-old child. A more accurate way to look at it is that dogs age much, much faster in their first couple of years, and then the rate slows down. For example, the first year of a dog's life is more like 15 human years. The second year is equivalent to about another 9 years. And after that, it varies a lot depending on the dog size and breed. Smaller breeds tend to live longer and age more slowly than larger breeds. A giant breed like a Great Dane might be considered a senior at age 6, while a tiny Chihuahua might not reach their senior years until they're 10 or 11. So why does this matter? Understanding your dog's true life stage helps you provide the right kind of care, from puppy food to senior joint support. Ditching the 7-year rule means you can be more in tune with your dog's actual needs at every stage of their beautiful life. Alright, on to myth number 3, and this one has to do with what we feed our furry friends. A grain-free diet is always healthier for dogs. You've seen the bags in the pet store, right? Grain-free is written in big, bold letters, and it sounds so healthy and natural. This trend exploded a few years ago, with many people believing that grains are just fillers and that a diet mimicking what wolves eat is best. But veterinarians are now urging caution. The truth is, the vast majority of dogs are not allergic or sensitive to grains. In fact, whole grains like corn, rice, and oats can be a valuable source of nutrients, energy, and fiber. True food allergies in dogs are actually quite rare, and when they do occur, the culprit is usually a protein source like beef or chicken, not grains. More importantly, in recent years, the FDA has been investigating a potential link between certain grain-free diets, specifically those high in legumes like peas, and lentils, and a serious heart condition in dogs called dilated cardiomyopathy, or DCM. While the research is ongoing and the link isn't fully understood, many vets are now recommending that unless your dog has a medically diagnosed reason to avoid grains, a well-balanced diet that includes grains is perfectly safe and healthy. The best advice? Always talk to your vet about your dog's specific nutritional needs before making any major changes to their diet. Let's get into a behavioral myth now. Myth number 4. When a dog chews things up or has an accident in the house, they are acting out of spite or guilt. You come home to find your favorite pair of shoes in tatters or a puddle on the carpet. You look at your dog, and they have that guilty look, head down, ears back, avoiding eye contact. It's just so easy to think they did it on purpose to get back at you for leaving them alone. But veterinary behaviorists will tell you that dogs do inexperience complex emotions like spite or guilt in the way humans do. That guilty look is actually a reaction to your body language and tone of voice. They know you're upset, and they're showing appeasement signals to try and de-escalate the situation. They're essentially saying, "I see you're angry. Please don't be mad at me." The destructive behavior or accident itself is almost always a symptom of a different problem. Chewing can be a sign of boredom, teething in puppies, or most commonly, separation anxiety. House soiling could be a medical issue, a lack of proper house training, or again, a sign of severe stress. Punishing a dog for these behaviors, especially after the fact, is not effective. They won't connect the punishment to their earlier action. Instead, it just creates fear and anxiety, which can make the underlying problem even worse. The solution is to figure out the root cause. Do they need more exercise? More mental stimulation and puzzle toys? Or is it separation anxiety that requires a professional behaviorist's help? Understanding that it's not spite, but a cry for help is the first step. And finally, we've arrived at myth number 5. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. This saying is so common that we use it for people too. But when it comes to our canine companions, it's just not true. While puppies might soak up information like little sponges, senior dogs are absolutely capable of learning. In fact, continuing to train and teach your older dog new things is one of the best ways to keep their minds sharp and engaged. It's fantastic mental exercise that can help stave off cognitive decline, which is similar to dementia in humans. Sure, you might need to adjust your training methods. An older dog might have hearing or vision loss, so you may need to use hand signals instead of verbal cues. They might have arthritis, so you'd want to avoid tricks that involve a lot of jumping or quick movements. And they might not have the same boundless energy as a puppy, so shorter, more frequent training sessions are often best. But their capacity to learn is still there. Teaching a senior dog to use a puzzle toy, learn a new command like touch, or even navigate a simple agility course can build their confidence and strengthen your bond. Never underestimate your senior dog. They've spent a lifetime learning to read you, and they might just surprise you with how quickly they can still pick up something new. So go ahead, break out the treats, and teach that old dog a new trick. They'll love you for it. So there you have it, 5 major dog myths officially busted by the experts. Let's do a quick recap. A wet nose doesn't guarantee health. The 7-year rule for aging is a complete myth. Grain-free isn't automatically better. Your dog isn't acting out of spite. And yes, you absolutely can teach an old dog new tricks. Believing these myths can lead us to misinterpret our dog's health and behavior, and letting them go can help us become even better, more informed pet parents. I hope this was helpful and gave you some new insights into your best friend. What other dog myths have you heard? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and maybe we can tackle them in a future video. Thanks so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that helps you and your pets live your best lives together. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.